Hello and welcome back to the channel, Jaya Colorist. My name is Jody and today we are kicking off our year-long look at world flags, and I am going to be coloring a bunch of flags every month, and we're going to have probably one video a month and we'll do a number of flags on that video. Today we are kicking it off on Australia Day, so obviously we are going to be coloring Australia Day, although Australia is not the only person celebrating a independence or a flag day on the 26th, as you will soon find out. But first, let's talk a little bit about this book. It is called World Flags Coloring. It is published or printed by Amazon, and there was no attributed illustrator on it. There is the ISBN number though, should you need it. And it is a double-sided page book, and it has colored pictures as well as a couple of facts on the country that it represents, and I wanted the colored picture beside each flag just so I can make sure that I'm showing respect to the flag and getting the most accurate colors that I can get. It is a double-sided book, so that means I will be trying to use colored pencils and water-based markers or India ink. So that's what the book's all about. It goes alphabetically. In order to celebrate each country and not to just go alphabetically, what I have done is gone onto the internet and selected World National Days, and that covered most of them, and it's done by month. So there are 3 we are going to cover in January, starting off with Cuba. And I will drop the camera down and we will concentrate on this flag. Just a moment. So as I mentioned in the video description, there is a link to the website that I found for World National Days. So the day that is being celebrated is Revolution Day, and it is January 1st in Cuba. So I apologize for missing that actual day. I'm going to be using Pit Artist pens, and I'm going to use Deep Scarlet Red 219 for the red, and I'm then going to use Indanthrone Blue 247 for the blue stripes. So we'll learn a little bit about Cuba as I'm coloring this. For starters, Cuba's official language is Spanish, and they are in the Greater Antilles in the Caribbean. So they do have, they are a vacation destination that you've probably heard of. So they do have tourism. The flag itself is made up of 3 blue stripes, 2 white stripes, a red triangle with a white star in the center. So let me just get this area done so I don't. The 3 blue stripes are representing the departments of the islands that were in existence when the flag was first created. The 2 white stripes represent strength and the independent ideal, which sounds kind of cool. And lastly, the red triangle that I'm coloring right now represents equality, liberty, and fraternity. Okay, we're going to do the blue now. So there's 3 stripes of blue. So the capital of Cuba is Havana. And it's quite the bustling city. There are the population of the country itself is 11.2 million. So it's not small population size, that's for sure. And kind of an interesting fact is that a bird called the bee hummingbird, and if I can get a picture I'll put it on screen, is the smallest, tiniest bird in the world, and it's native to Cuba. So that's kind of cool. Comment below if you've ever been to Cuba on a vacation or a cultural trip. My son went there with his Spanish teacher when he was in high school on a cultural trip, and they got to spend a little bit of time with the Spanish teacher's family and see how they lived. So that was pretty fun for them, and a big eye-opener. Okay, there's our first flag. So January 1st, Revolution Day in Cuba. Happy Revolution Day. Sorry I am late, Cuba. Okay, let's go to Australia, who is celebrating Australia Day on January 26th. Now, I had done a complete video coloring the Australian flag. However, the video was actually on slow-mo, so it was corrupt and I couldn't use it. So I have colored the flag in the Pit Artist pens. I had actually used a Prismacolor for the blue to start off with, and it was blue indigo, or indigo blue, but it ended up being too light. So I then took a Pit Artist pen in the Indanthro blue 247 and colored over top of the blue, and then I used the deep scarlet red 219 for the Union Jack. So since I've already colored the flag itself, I will talk about the flag and what it means. So this area here is the Union Jack, and that is because Australia is part of the British Commonwealth. The star under here is a 7-pointed white star, and it symbolizes the 6 Australian states, and the 7th point on the star represents the territories in Australia. This group of 5 stars here is actually the Southern Cross constellation, which you can see if you are in the Southern Hemisphere up in the night sky. I have been to Australia myself, visiting for probably, I think it was 4 or 5 weeks, and we did go to an observatory in Sydney, and the sky is totally amazing. The stars there were awesome to see, and because they are on the Southern Hemisphere and I live on the Northern Hemisphere, the star constellations are totally different from what I'm used to seeing. So this Southern Cross is something that you can only see if you are on the Southern Hemisphere. Australia has 25 million people. It is the largest island in the world, but is also the smallest continent. The capital is in Canberra, not Sydney, which most people actually assume it's Sydney, but it's actually another place called Canberra. And Australia is home to the Great Barrier Reef, which I have had a chance to visit, and it is so big that you can actually see it from space. So happy birthday, Australia Day, today, January 26th. Okay, the next country that we are going to celebrate their flag is India, and it is the January 26th is India's Republic Day, and I'm going to start off using an Ecoline brush pen in saffron yellow, and that's because the first band at the top of the flag here is saffron for color. So India has a huge population. It's 1.37 billion people. So massive, massive country. They are the second most populated country in the world outside of China. So if we have any people from India that are watching the channel, hello, welcome. I hope you're having a great day. So the saffron color represents strength and courage of the country. Then we have a white band that represents peace and truth. And then this piece right here in the center is called a Dharma chakra. So let me just color this. I don't want to make any errors. I'm using a Zig Clean marker. It is a water-based ink. So hopefully it's not seeping through. And it has fine bristles, so it can get into these very tiny areas. So this that I'm coloring right now is the Dharma chakra, and it depicts the wheel of law. And it's intended to show that life is movement and death is stagnation. So that was kind of interesting. And I apologize for my pronunciation if I did not get it correct. Wow, very intricate. Okay, and the bottom stripe is green, and it represents fertility, growth, and auspiciousness of the land. Okay, some fun facts from the internet on India is the game chess was invented in India. So that's kind of cool because chess is played worldwide. India is home to the highest bridge in the world, and that's up in the Himalayan mountains. There's a lot of facts about the number of engineers and doctors from India. So they're a highly educated country and highly advanced with knowledge. Comment below if you've ever been to India, if you've ever traveled there. That is somewhere I have never been, and due to the distance will not be able to get to, but it's always interesting to learn more. One website said that 25% of the residents in India are under the age of 25. So that means it's a young population too. So that was kind of interesting. I'm in my 50s, late 50s, so that was kind of an interesting. Okay, we'll let that dry and hopefully it evens out a little bit. That's excellent. So the official language in India is Hindu, Dura, and English. But they are a huge English-speaking country. So, which is also something that I was. In fact, India is the largest English-speaking nation in the world. So that was interesting. Okay, and that's the last flag that we'll be doing today. So let me zoom out for you. So today, the start of our flag series was a quick one. We just had 3 countries that were celebrating national days. So we had Cuba, Australia, and India. We will have 5 flags for the month of February. So it will get, and we will be bouncing around the whole book. So quite interested to see where this year takes us. in the world of flags. I hope you learn a little bit and do some Googling on your own if you want to learn more about the fabulous, interesting countries that are around the world. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you next week. Until then, I hope you have a creative and colorful week. Take care. Bye-bye.